where'd you get the confidence, not only like musically, to do like, you know, like you were just talking about, like out of the box, like not just traditional, what we've been used to, but also from a fashion style. Like I think of like, hey, yeah, I think of like the outfit. Like where'd that confidence come from early in your career?
Over time, my influences from, once I started producing on the second album, you know, I'm buying records and I'm looking at the back of albums, looking at all the groups that I'm into, looking at Parliament Funkadelic, looking at Sly Stone, looking at those players who played with James Brown, blah, blah, blah. And I started to notice the people that I was attracted to. And I was like, that's who I want to be like, you know? So a lot of my heroes, from Prince to Sly, that's all in me, like punk artists. I always went to like who looked like they having the most fun, telling the most truth. So that's kind of like, that was a big influence. And honestly, man, my crew, man, like all the people in me and Big and CeeLo were the youngest niggas in the dungeon at the time. All my homies from Rico to Gil, Cujo, T-Mo, they were a little older than us, so they had been rapping longer than us. So we kind of like sitting and watching. Like my first studio session was hanging out with Rico and them, going, and Gip used to be in a group called East Point Chain Gang. And so my first studio visit was hanging with Reek, they going to the studio to produce Gip them. So it's kind of like my whole crew, like when you build a community of people, which is so important, when you have crews, in the dungeon, it became like an island, and we developed our own lingo, our own slang, our own look, and you build confidence in your crew where you don't give a fuck what nobody outside that say. And it's kind of like, once you get that kind of power, you take it out in the world. Like same way like Japan wasn't fucking with nobody for a long time. And they cultivated themselves and they became Japan, and then they opened up the doors. But they were confident in who they were, like they were confident in what they offered to the world. So I have to say, man, my crew built me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, rest in peace, Rico. But Rico, there were times when like I would say raps to Rico and he would just get up and walk. He might be smoking the blunt, he might get up and walk away, and it was so disrespectful to me as a kid. I was like, this motherfucker, man, like, but to him, he was like, no, that ain't good enough. And so your crew make you harder, make you better.
Yeah, for
like,
sure, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
hell
Like,
yeah.
And if you in a dungeon, it was a real dungeon where it was like dirt on the wall.
Yeah,
it's
what
like,
was the, tell us what the, because we all know Dungeon Family.
Yeah,
but what was the physical place like? Because it was a studio almost, right?
It was a makeshift studio. We had like house speakers and a few drum machines and like car seats that would tow out of cars on dirt floors. It was like a crawl space in Rico's mama house, and Rico was kind and visionary enough to let us all young niggas stay in her house in the basement.
That's crazy.
If she wouldn't have opened her doors and it wouldn't be no dungeon. Shout out Ms. Wade.
Period. Shout out to her.
Facts. Yeah. He was like, sometimes you gotta have somebody with a cool ass mama.
Oh God, I was just finna say that.
Real, like,
it's always
she let
gonna
us
be that
smoke.
one friend in the group
She let
that
us
you got in
smoke.
their house, they got
She
it
let y'all
all.
smoke while y'all was on
there? Yeah. I mean, we was never disrespectful.
But I'm sure
like,
from her point, y'all was safe.
And she was like, if they in my house, then I know they ain't out there doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody needs
I mean,
a friend that got a mama like that.
I don't know if she would like agreed, but
it beats alternative.
Yeah,
She's probably like it beats alternative, you know?
We was downstairs, and so she let it happen. And so it was really a house with a family. I mean, like Rico's two sisters were going to high school every day. We beating all night, beats like loud, like smoke all, and they got to wake up in the morning and go to school. Like it was a house, you know. So
she must have believed in y'all.
Yeah, that's a true definition. Take a village.
I believe.
That's what's up.
Like Rico was a hustler, man. Like Rico had the vision. Like Rico made us believe, you know. Like so.
R.I.P. Rico.
R.I.P.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You asked me where it come from. I'm only like a product of the dungeon, you know, like they gave me, cause I'm an only child, like I wasn't really confident in school. Like it took me a minute to learn how to perform even. Like I was a nervous kind of like kid. So my dungeon niggas kind of like gave me like a platform to kind of, nigga, go free.